So in the past year, I've been building a lot in The Sims 4. But I realized there are like 10 other builds that I've recorded on stream on Twitch, but have never posted them here on YouTube because I simply just forgot. And so today I wanted to show you all a family home made for fishers called the Fisher family in San Sequoia. I'm literally not joking. The last time I saw this build was last year back in March, which is kind of crazy to think about because we literally just got infants and we got growing together pretty much last year in February. And I was super inspired to build something in the new world that I built it all on stream, but I never actually posted the video. And the problem is I have ADHD and I'm all over the place and I think of too many ideas and I just forget to post certain videos, even though I recorded them over a year ago. And it's like the first build out of like 11 builds that I've done but never posted. And so I apologize for that. But this year, best believe it, folks, videos will be coming like wildfire and you're probably gonna get very annoyed of me, of my voice, my face, and the videos that I'll be posting. But hey, it's 2024, the year of new beginnings, new fun, new chaos, and doing things I'm scared of doing and posting here on the internet. But this build, I have to say, is probably one of my most favorite builds I've done in a very long time when it comes to like family homes. Especially when I built this, we were just getting into infants and growing together, and San Sequoia, which is the new world that we got, was growing together. And as of recently, I've been going back and replaying The Sims 4, like old packs, like Growing Together, Get Together, and recently Discover University. And it's been so much fun just like relearning The Sims 4 because I'm a content creator, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a streamer, and I'm part of the EA Creator Network program. So I get packs to review, but the problem is for me is that even though I get these packs, I don't have enough time to like review them. I don't really have enough time to really immerse myself into what the pack truly has to offer. And I'm slow. I like to take things slow and easy and really just dissect everything before I give my full attention and full review and opinion on everything. So I will say I am a firm believer that Growing Together is 10 out of 10, 100% my all-time favorite family pack because it comes with family dynamics. It comes with the milestones. The infants are a lot more detailed than the ones you just usually get in base game because we got them as a base game update and they were just like there. They're cool looking. They have nice outfits, but that's really much it besides like the favorite foods that you can do with the high chairs. But I think personally for me, with adding and Growing Together, it's made the gameplay more fun for me. The storytelling's more exciting because you can see like the consequences of certain family dynamics and the milestones that you get. It really enhances your family for like generations, at least for me. And I recently just got to generation 18 in my Berry family that I've been playing on Twitch that started here on YouTube for Not So Berry. And I just kind of grew it by doing more generations with the Career Legacy Challenge and just trying new things that I haven't done before. And if you are always stuck on like story ideas or thinking of new ways to play The Sims, I just say replay the old packs, but do things that you haven't done before, like careers or aspirations or skills, or even living in the worlds that you lived in or haven't lived in, especially the Sims you interact with. Because The Sims, there's so many, and I feel like there's so many ways you can like play the game differently, whether it's starting with no money or a lot of money, or even like starting with like a mid-tier career with, you know, a weird family dynamic, some enemies, some friendships, some relationships that are like flings here and there. You could be like the Don Lothario of whatever world you're living in. You could be the richest sim, more richer than the land grabs. You could become enemies of the Goth family. You know, something kind of stirring up the way you play your game is always fun. At least that's what I've been discovering. And a video that I posted about 2 days ago is a family called the McCain family, Finley McCain, who I have to say is probably one of my most favorite Sims I've created, story-wise and look-wise and how I play the game. He's a creative, I'm a creative, and I kind of put myself into that Sim. And I think going forward with the way I do my Sim videos, it's gonna be somewhat like that, storytelling with a little bit of gameplay and a little bit of who knows what will happen in the game. And I'm just so excited to really just get back into everything. But in all, this build was made way back last year in March. And I made this build specifically wanting to do a Let's Play with Growing Together, but at the time I wasn't in the right headspace to do one. But I love storytelling so much that I just created a family in my head, wrote it down all on Notion, and just letting the story flow. And so I'm looking on my other screen and I literally wrote down everything I needed to say for like the Sims that are living in this house. And this family is called the Easton family. And they date back way, way, way back in like the 1900s, 1930s-esque. And there's 3 Sims that live here: Theodore Easton and Dove and Arlo Easton. Dove is 40 years old. Theodore is 41 years old and Arlo is 15 years old. And so it's a family of 3 that live in San Sequoia, and dating back all the way to the 1930s, their entire family were fishers. They originated from Brindleton Bay, which is like a coastal, beachy type of world. They have a lot of fishers and a lot of docks in there. And so coming from all the way from Brindleton Bay to San Sequoia, they've built their life on the premise of togetherness, together, growing together, living together, and just making their lives much better for the future and future generations of the Fisher family. And I call them the Fisher family because they're a bunch of fishers, but their last name is Easton. I really don't know. But Theodore is the parents of Joseph and, well, Theodore's parents are named Joseph and Landon Easton, and Theodore was born in San Sequoia, but he went to school for engineering on one scholarship. He began dating Dove his junior year when she was a sophomore and he was a junior in high school. And what's funny enough is that this is tied to my sim Aspen Marie Larson, or Aspen Marie. Yeah, no, Aspen Marie. But for Theodore, his parents are named Joseph and Landon Easton, and they're a same-sex couple, so he was technically adopted into the family. And I thought it was really cool for that story. But he's 41 years old. He was born in San Sequoia because that's where he was adopted in. And he went to school for engineering for one scholarship. He began dating Dove his junior year when she was a sophomore in high school. But the funny thing about Theodore, and the really interesting about Theodore and Dove mostly, is that they really know my sim Aspen Marie O'Connor. And if you don't know the O'Connor family that I love, the O'Connor Diaries, I made a whole machinima video. I've done current households of that family, and they're coming back. Do not worry. I've just been in a mood lately. And Aspen Marie has had a lot of friends in her life and had a lot of like good relationships from like her college years. And so that's how they kind of knew Theodore and Dove. And I'm trying to like really create Sims for Aspen to have like a mini college reunion. I've already made, I think, 2 other Sims that are a part of Aspen's college reunion. I just have to make Theodore, Dove, and like 1 other Sim that you'll all see. But I've just been so excited to really like just get back into like my O'Connor legacy and playing through Aspen's life again, especially Winston living in Copperdale now for high school. It's so different, so weird, but the best part about all of this is that I know how to play The Sims again. Like, you would think I would know how to play The Sims after like playing The Sims for literally my entire life. I've been on the internet since I was 14 years old making Sims content, and I've always been a storyteller. I've always been some type of like creative in that medium, but never expressed that in real life until recently, because I'm an actor now and I'm doing acting things and creating my own scripts and writing my own short films and like just really getting back into the things that I truly loved. And utilizing The Sims has pushed me in that endeavor to like pursue what I've always wanted to pursue my entire life. And I will say though, creating these stories like the Easton family and the O'Connor family and the college friends and of course the McCain family, those Sims are like my ride or dies. I think I needed to step away from Let's Plays and step away from like everything that I did to reevaluate of what I wanted to do with my channel, with my creativeness, and just overall life in general. But I don't know, have you ever had that moment in your life where you're like thinking, should I be doing this? Is this good for the right reason? Should I be doing this later in my life? Should I wait? Should I just do something different? I don't know. I've always had that in my entire life. But with all that being said though, I think this family, the Easton family, I'm tying different aspects of The Sims into like this family to make sense. originating from Brindleton Bay, coming to San Sequoia. You know, Theodore born in San Sequoia, he was adopted, met Dove in high school, and then knowing Aspen Marie from college, they're like college friends. It's just so cool. But Dove, her parents are named Avery and Logan Hunter, and they are from, like, of course, San Sequoia, and they've all lived in San Sequoia their entire lives. They've never really moved anywhere, but she went to school for education and is a superintendent for the San Sequoia district, which I think is very, very cool. And so her child, Arlo, who's 15, he actually lives in Copperdale because he's on scholarship internationally. Because the way I'm seeing The Sims differently, like my friends Ocean and Shifty have like shared this in their videos before, how, and of course other people too, but specifically like those two people, I love watching their videos a lot. And listening to what they're saying makes sense of how, like, if your Sims like live in Newcrest, they can only travel to, like, you know, Willow Creek, or traveling to like San Sequoia, because in a way, like, those worlds are kind of connected when you think about it, based on like where you're at. And like also traveling to the city may take like 30 minutes or an hour or however long it takes you to get to the city in real life. So you're like taking the like real life and putting it into the Sims. You can only travel here if they're like neighboring to you. And the way I see it is that Arlo and Winston, they are studying abroad in Copperdale, because Copperdale in a way is not connected to like Newcrest or San Sequoia. In my eyes, I feel like Copperdale is more connected to like Brindleton Bay, which is on the other side of the world in a way. But nonetheless, I think with all that being said, Arlo, he's 15, and Winston, he's like 14, 15, going on 15 technically. And I've decided that with Winston, I want him to have a roommate, and I think Arlo is like a really good roommate to live with. So what I'm thinking is having a new way of rebuilding Winston's new home that Aspen bought for Winston when he moved to Copperdale so long ago. And the cool part is that Arlo is on the swimming team with Winston. He's a music lover, creative, and a genius, but is a top-notch music prodigy. He's always been creative. He's always loved, you know, music, violin, everything. And so he loves being able to try new things that he hasn't tried before. But of course, he's not in Copperdale alone. He actually has a uncle named Frank, which he visits from time to time. Even though he's going to be living with Winston for a while, he knows that Uncle Frank is there to like take care of anything he might need, money wise, food wise, clothes wise, whatever it might be. But with all that being said, with having Uncle Frank living near Arlo and Winston in Copperdale is a very good thing, because Aspen Marie, Winston's mom, knows the area, knows Copperdale, is a well-known icon, a doctor, and just a well-respected person in general. Having Theodore by her side and Dove by her side, they're all family friends. But the best part though is that Uncle Frank knew Aspen Diane O'Connor, Aspen Marie's mom, which is really good. And of course, you know, Uncle Frank knowing Theodore and Dove is like pretty much great. And Uncle Frank, I just call him Uncle Frank, but Frank is related to Theodore. That is actually his brother. And so knowing that there's like some relation in there is good. And having a family friend or, you know, an uncle, whoever, it's okay. So the place of Copperdale is safe for Arlo and Winston, being young teenagers studying abroad in a whole new area, in a whole new school, and plus living by themselves without like living by themselves. Because what I'm thinking is that I'm going to have to move Winston off of the lot that I originally put him on, and maybe build like 2 houses on one, possibly, where I can still have like the teenagers live in their own home, but also have Uncle Frank live in his own home, but on the same lot, if that makes sense. So there's like adult supervision, but like they're independent in a way. But I don't know. Give me your thoughts. What do you all think? Do you think this makes sense in your head? Because it makes sense in my head, but the voices just think it's great, and I'm going to go with great. But I will say though, this house is my favorite. I cannot wait to show you in the game and kind of give you more of an understanding of why I built this the way I built it and more history, because this house is very old but has been renovated over time. It was built in the late 1930s. And so having that being built so long ago, it's of course been renovated over time to fit like the more modern vibes. It's not a historical landmark as old homes usually are. You can't like renovate old buildings if they've been there for a very long time. So it's a very old ancient build, but has been allowed to be renovated over time indoors and a little bit of outdoors as well to keep with the times of the neighborhood. But I will say, having this build being almost a year old, just looking back at the footage and being able to like kind of talk about the story and this reiterating of what I was thinking back then is kind of nice. And so hopefully you enjoy the rest of the builds that I did last year that'll be posted this year and see what's to come, because Let's Plays gameplay is gonna be coming back in full swing sometime soon in February. But let's go ahead and go into the game and so I can show you the house in real time. Now, the reason why I built this in San Sequoia specifically is all centered around my sim, Aspen Marie O'Connor. And if you know Aspen and you know my channel, you know how much I love Aspen. Her family, her friends, her job, her being a celebrity icon, and just what she does for other people is so kind and so warm that building in San Sequoia that came with Grown Together was a perfect spot for this family. Like, growing together is all about growing your family, yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, with your milestones, your likes and dislikes, your personality, lifestyles, everything centered around you and where you live is all about growing together, because it takes a village to, you know, be better, I feel, especially growing children, I feel, in The Sims 4, but also in general. But when building this house, I knew specifically the Easton family was the perfect family for this home, and dating it back in the 1930s and having it being renovated over time, especially if you have families coming in and out and parties coming in and out, you want to make it more livable for the people that live here. But it's been in the family since the 1930s, so no one else has lived here but the Easton family. So Theodore, Dove, and Arlo, and of course Theodore's parents, and then Dove comes over every once in a while when she was in high school. But this home, I wanted to give it that family neighborhood feel, so I added in like a TV projector, I added some like kid bikes, outdoor laundry making, because indoor laundry, dangerous and flammable, we don't have time for that. I also added in some play mats and a little built-in sandbox, which is functional, by the way. I also added in a little kiddie pool and some planter boxes, and along with a treehouse kit, so when your Sims come here, they can build up the treehouse together. And I really love the treehouses in The Sims 4 now because they're so cool and decorative. And now that we have custom content and mods out there, you can always change the treehouse to whatever you want. But with the in-game treehouse was Grown Together, it's so cool. And I do hope that we get more in the future one day, but this is very nice. But I wanted to go with something more unique, some greenery, a lot of plants, and especially with the fact the location, it's literally on the pier of where all these boats are at. And it clicked on me on stream, like, wait, fishing, Fisher, Brundlin Bay, San Sequoia, it all makes sense. And so with all these boats, the home over here seemed perfect to me. But as for the inside, I wanted to keep it relatively closed in and small, but not overly cluttered. So I added in quite a few knickknacks and paddywhacks over here in the entry area. And it looks crazy and cluttered, but it's cluttered with a purpose and it feels lived in. And that's how I want my homes to feel in The Sims, lived in and not overly cluttered. But we have like some baskets for some toys, some keys and some cell phones, a little glass, some mugs, some magazines, and of course, hanging all your little mail and bags here on the wall. We have a little fish tank. We also have a fishing rod with some photos of them fishing on their adventures. And then in here, I wanted to kind of close it off, but I felt having it open felt more real and like more put together. So the kitchen is more like, not really a galley kitchen, but it's kind of like a mini version of my dream kitchen. So I like how it looks and also kind of put together. And then I have a little pet bowl, and then of course a little high chair. And the reason why I have this is because I wanted to add it in, but also if any neighbors come by and they have infants or toddlers that need to be fed for a party or two, they can come over here and do that here. And then of course they have a pet. I'm thinking of like a dog, maybe probably named Pablo or something like that for their dog that lives here. But we have their dining room, we have their living room with a bunch of board games on the little table here. We have their grill that leads out into the side yard. And then upstairs, I have only 2 bedrooms, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, because essentially there's a small bathroom down here, but it does have a shower. And I guess you would count this as like technically 3 bathrooms. If it has a shower in there, it's like a full bath, but you know, bathroom down here, and then the other 2 are upstairs. This one is made for the main bedroom for Theodore and Dove, and then this is Arlo's bedroom, which is smaller than usual. But since Arlo is living in Copperdale right now, it doesn't make any sense of adding everything Arlo needs. But essentially, it's like more of his like childhood home bedroom. He does love science. He also does love fishing because he's part of the Easton Fisher family. They have a little club named the Fisher family. And of course, they have all the other little stuff over here, a little speaker for some music, and their own little handprint when they were a baby, when they were born, which I thought was so cute. And then, of course, we have their bathroom for the hallway bathroom, and then Dove and Theodore's bedroom is over here. I didn't really add too much to this room because they don't really feel like they have a lot of things. They usually keep it in like in storage or like in keepsake boxes, or just kind of have it somewhere different. I was gonna eventually add in like a basement to this build, but it didn't feel right at the time, especially with the foundation. With basements, it glitches if you put it towards the edge of a foundation, so I just didn't add one in. Plus the spaces didn't make any sense. But eventually, somewhere down the line, I want to expand this house where they have like a second property that they own or something like that, just to make it more, you know, family everything. But I don't know. I really love this family. I love what I built. I'm glad I built this, and I'm glad I finally got to share this video with you all after like a whole year of not recording this. But in all, with that being said, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below of what do you think of like the story that I had for the Easton family, my reasons why I built it, and just my overall explanation of everything, because I build so much, but I never have time to like really sit down, like record videos or edit the videos. But this build is on the gallery if y'all want to download it. My origin ID is just SpringSims, and yeah. But either way, as always, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!